Happy Sunday, y'all, and welcome to episode number 182 of the Untamed, the Wild Soul podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth D'Alto, and this is our first official Sunday sermon. I am so excited for these. Since we launched the podcast in May of 2015, I've experimented with some extra types of episodes like listener Q&A, Thirsty Thursday interviews, and none of them have ever felt as alive to me as the regular episodes until this idea recently for Sunday sermons. These are going to be shorter solo episodes, so just me, probably 15 to 20 minutes long, where I do oracle readings, share my favorite prayers, poems, or excerpts from what I'm reading. I'll explore creative and inspiring ideas, thoughts, and ruminations for you to be nourished and fed by going into your week. So these are going to be super juicy. Think of it as wild and untamed gospel, heart ponderings, and delicious morsels of wisdom to spark your own truth, power, and love from my wild soul to yours. So as we get into our first official Wild Soul sermon, I want to begin by sharing our Wild Soul Woman Manifesto with you. And if you haven't seen our manifesto, if you didn't even know we had one, you can follow along at wildsoulmovement.com/pledge. We actually designed this and laid it out beautifully. So if you love it and you want to print it out, put it on your altar, hang it somewhere in your home where you can be reminded of it, you're more than welcome to do that. So this is an invitation. It's something to live into. It's a practice. It's a dedication, and it's a pledge. And I remember when we first shared it with the community, a lot of them were like, oh my God, this is amazing. And a handful of women felt like, wow, I feel pressured. Like I'm not doing those things yet. So I just want to remind you as you listen, this is meant to be an invitation, like an aspiration, something to live into, not something to like pressure yourself that you're not doing all of these things yet, because it's essentially the full out expression of like what it means to be a wild soul woman. And of course, in your own way, however it is that you express these things. So here it is. I am a woman, not a lovelier version of a man. I am devoted to loving myself in the untamed way, through cultivating self-acceptance, awareness, knowledge, respect, and trust. I am committed to discovering and living into my ever-evolving truth, the truth of what it means to be a woman in the 21st century, the truth of what it means to be me. The me that I am, not that society, culture, family, government, religion, or other structures have dictated to me. I am discerning. I listen to my wild soul and trust her innate wisdom and guidance. I have boundaries. I do not sacrifice myself for the benefit of others. I say no when I mean no, and yes when I mean yes. I am just as worthy of my own time, energy, and attention as all of my loved ones. I am a loved one. I do not need others to be different or agree with me for me to feel okay. I do my best to respect others' beliefs, opinions, cultures, choices, self-expression, and sexuality, even if I don't understand. I am a global sister. I am a safe place to land for all life and all people. I know that it's not all about me, but that it does start with me, and I happily accept responsibility for my own life. I am a work in progress and a work of art. My body is sacred. I am willing to have courageous conversations. I embrace my uniqueness, my power, my beauty, my creativity, my inner fire, my passion, my fierceness, and my softness. I reserve the right to change my mind. When I want to be harsh with myself, I choose gentleness instead. I honor the earth and all her creations. I am unashamed. I trust that my temporary circumstances never have to be my permanent reality. I am a powerful creator. I am receptive. I am a force for expansion, for love, and for good. I am a wild soul woman. So that's our pledge. That's our manifesto. That's what we're here for. That's what we stand for. And so the oracle reading I'll do today is from the Wild Soul Oracle deck. It's card number 16. And this is largely the foundation of this podcast, of the entire movement of what we're here to do. It's the Break the Lineage card. And by the way, we'll put a picture of it so you can see. I'll post it on Instagram, I'll post it on my Facebook page, and we'll post it in the show notes. The show notes will be at untameyourself.com/episode-182. So the mantra for the Break the Lineage card is, I am here to bring healing and consciousness to the ever unfolding now. And here's the remembering. What does that mean to break the lineage? It means to break the poor habits, patterns, and traumas we've inherited from our families and cultures of origin that sometimes go back many, many generations so that we do not continue passing them down. Some of these are things like not asking for help and having poor boundaries or putting yourself last. Some are more tricky and might seem like our individual efforts can't make a dent, like patriarchy, racism, and other forms of oppression or injustice. But our efforts can make a dent. They will make a dent. And they already are making a dent. So I have some reflection questions for those of you that are journalers. What are the patterns and habits in your lineage that you'd like to honor and keep? Because sometimes there's great things in your lineage, right? So what are the things that you'd like to honor and keep? And what are the poor habits, patterns, and traumas in your lineage that you'd like to break? So write those things down, do your reflections. I'd love for you to find me on Facebook or Instagram and let me know what comes up for you there. And then I want to walk you through the ritual from the Oracle deck as well. So don't worry about journaling yet, or if you want to pause and journal and then come back for the ritual, you could do that. Either way. Imagine yourself standing in the center of a line. There are 7 people to your left and 7 people to your right. The 7 to your left are older than you, those who have come before you. The 7 to your right are younger women, ranging from toddlers to teenagers, those who will come after you. You might see the actual faces of your mothers, grandmothers, aunts, and other ancestors to your left, and you may see the actual faces of your own daughters, nieces, or grandchildren before you. You may simply sense their energy. Now repeat along with me this mantra. I am here to bring healing and consciousness to the ever unfolding now. I am here to bring healing and consciousness to the ever unfolding now. I am here to bring healing and consciousness to the ever unfolding now. I am here to bring healing and consciousness to the ever unfolding now. I am here to bring healing and consciousness to the ever unfolding now. I am here to bring healing and consciousness to the ever unfolding now. I am here to bring healing and consciousness to the ever unfolding now. Take a deep breath. 2 more. I am here to bring healing and consciousness to the ever unfolding now. And I am here to bring healing and consciousness to the ever unfolding now. Now imagine your body filled and glowing with healing golden light. It's a light of purification, of resolution, and of completion. You all join hands. Your radiant light spreads down the line, filling up all the others until the entire lineage is filled with the healing golden light of purification, resolution, and completion. The negative behaviors, the patterns, and the beliefs that have been resolved. Streaks of violence, trauma, unhealthy emotions, manipulations, and misunderstandings no longer exist in your shared space. You release hands and you feel the loving energy that exists in place of all that has been released. Take 1 more deep breath. And if you want to move your body or wiggle your fingers and toes or shake anything out to anchor in the experience you just had with that ritual. So to wrap up again, these shorter episodes, I just want to share why I chose to give you the Break the Lineage card and the mantra and the reflection and the remembering and the rituals today. Since we launched and released the Wild Soul Oracle deck back in May of 2017, I lost count of how many women have told me that when they got their deck, the first card they picked was that Break the Lineage card. It felt super significant because this is what Wild Soul Women are here to do. We're here to put our foot down to these things that we recognize as not okay. We get to be the people in our lineage who say no, who say not on my watch, who say, I understand that's been in the history of this family or this culture, but I'm not interested and I'm not willing to participate in the perpetuation of any of these things. And so it's a way of calling our power back to ourselves. It's a way of shining our own light to give other people permission to do the same, the way Marianne Williamson says in her favorite quote. It's realizing that just because something has always been a certain way does not mean it needs to be that way moving forward. Just because your family of origin or your religion or your local community or whatever does things a certain way doesn't mean that you have to if they don't resonate for you. But also opening up the space for you to keep what does work for you, what does resonate, what do you appreciate, what is good, what is true, what is resonant for you. So on this first Sunday sermon, whether you're listening to it on an actual Sunday or at another time, allow that to be in your body. Allow that to be in your consciousness, in your awareness, and bring that with you throughout your day, throughout the weeks, throughout the months. Allow yourself to have eyes to see and ears to hear all that is for you and all that is not for you. May you be able to honor and respect where other people are coming from without having to tolerate it. You don't have to judge it. You can have compassion for it, but you don't have to deal with it. You don't have to take it on if it's not for you. And if people are not okay with your new boundaries or with your new way of being or with your ever-evolving, expanding, and developing beliefs, that's also okay. Because you in yourself are worthy and valuable and lovable, and you are honorable, and you get to be in your own integrity without measuring it against everyone else's rules, authorities, regulations, or what they think is right or best or true. You get to sink into sovereignty. You get to be the center of your own world, not in a selfish way, not in a self-serving way, but as a service to yourself and to those around you. And I want to remind you that self-care is always urgent. If you feel depleted, you are already spiraling down, and you want to pause and make a choice so that you could spiral up, so that you could take care of yourself, so that you can be a role model for those who don't have someone to look to, so that they can see that it's okay for women to care for themselves, to choose themselves, to honor themselves, to respect themselves, to love and accept and respect themselves too. So this is what we're here for. This is what you can expect on Sundays, a jolt of love, reminders, inspiration, maybe something to nourish you going into your week. Our Monday episodes will stay the same. We'll keep interviews coming on Mondays. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed our first sermon, and we'll see you next week.